This is UBISOFT Forward. Explore our worlds.
Meet the devs. See the games.
Join us.
Hi everyone, I'm Neelam Kumar and I'm very excited to be co-hosting the first UBISOFT Forward with the talented Yusuf Magid. Today's show is all about getting up close and in-depth with all the exciting games we have in production here at
Leute, ich mach mal kurz ein bisschen leiser. Hallo, hallo. Schön, dass ihr da seid und vielen Dank fürs Einschalten zur Ubisoft Forward Show. Schauen wir mal, was uns hier erwartet. Ich bin ruhig und wir können da zuhören. So, auf wie geht's?
The illegal paintings spreading subversive and hostile messaging over the last few weeks across London are not the work of
Ist das
several
Watch
people
Dogs?
as was originally believed.
Ah, steht ja oben, Watch Dogs Legion, ja.
The criminals suspected to have
Ich gehe mal in den Stream Voice, falls da einer mitschnacken will. Verkabel mich mal. So.
Authorities recommend not to approach the individual.
First, they came for the foreigners, and I did not speak out, because I was not a foreigner. Then, they came for the protesters, and I did not speak out, because I was not a protester. Then they came for the journalists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a journalist.
So, jetzt bin ich am Start. Zeig den Chat hier an. Ja, schönen guten Abend.
And then they came for street artists, but I did not speak out, because I am not a street artist.
Oh, was ist denn das? Eine Drohne. Aber das sieht ganz gut aus, oder? So ein bisschen ganz komischen Style, finde ich. So Comic-mäßig, oder? So ganz gut, aber. Hey, Löwe! Ja, Hallöchen! Welch Ehre! Grüßen Sie sich! Das freut mich ja.
After a long night, London is in chaos. The main arteries through the city are blocked.
Die Typen da.
Well. Welcome to the Resistance. Here's a welcome gift for our new members.
But the disappearance of the criminal
Pro Maske kannst du denn 20 Euro ausgeben.
Costume party.
has been raised.
Try it on.
The new key suspect has been identified as David Ford, a 43-year-old London taxi driver. He has no criminal record, but is currently believed to be a terrorist. People have been asked not
Was ist denn sein tätowierter Bart da?
Authorities advise all residents.
Die Grafik gefällt mir. Der Style. Gut aus.
I'm Clint Hawking, CEO
Clint has been a longtime creative force here at Ubisoft, and now he's bringing this vision to Watch Dogs Legion.
So yeah, what we just saw was an amazing short film by the director Alberto Mielgo that was inspired by Watch Dogs Legion and looks at the game and the universe and the characters through his incredible artistic vision and visual style.
The city needs a resistance.
Like the film, Watch Dogs Legion tells the story of ordinary heroes setting aside their differences in order to come together as a collective and to fight for a positive change. You can literally recruit and play anyone who you see in the open world. You profile people that are interesting to you, you help them with their problem, you play their origin mission.
Just help me get some closure and I'll do whatever you want.
Sounds like a DedSec problem. Leave it to us.
And that's how you recruit them into your team. And then they become the heroes of the game and the stars of your story.
And what are you doing in my flat? You with Albion?
Please, think more underground.
You with Albion?
I'm tickled, but think more underground.
What, DedSec? Yeah, right, and I'm Che Guevara. You're done.
And they make the story not only, unique to them, but unique to you as the player and personal to you because they're, heroes that you've chosen and invested in. What would I say to fans? I guess I'd say, take care of yourselves, stay safe. Welcome to the Resistance.
Our London town, a modern metropolis, built on history and prosperity. Only took 12,000 years to build it up, and one night to tear it all down.
Na, da war jetzt die Bodentextur nicht so geil.
Oh my God. Listen up. Get all your units to move in and lock down the city.
With London under attack by a mysterious terrorist, the government turns to a private military company called Albion to keep everyone safe. What could possibly go wrong? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nigel Cass, CEO of Albion. He's kindly stepped up to establish order.
Understand this. I will not allow anyone, not even myself, to jeopardize this.
He will stop at nothing to permanently control the
Der
city.
Trailer hat mir besser gefallen.
London will be the first city in the world to be made truly safe.
Nigel's not the only opportunist who's taken a liking to this fair city. Meet Mary Kelly, head of the most powerful crime syndicate in London.
Be sure and spread the word.
She and her goons are using the dark web to sell everything from party pills to people.
This microchip is scary, I know, but I got to keep tracks on my merchandise, don't I?
You made me a slave.
You do not want to ruffle her feathers. With the city out on its arse, it now falls on you to build a resistance and take back London.
All right, everyone. Faces on, guns out.
Any of the brave Londoners you see walking the streets can be recruited into your team. Like him. Her. Or even her. Everyone can become your next secret weapon.
Bams.
In our first mission, we need to get some dirt on Nigel Cass, and that means breaking into Albion headquarters inside the Tower of London. All the hardy souls you see here are people we have recruited from the streets of London. They all have unique abilities,
stimmt, man kann ja
and
jeden
you're free to tackle this mission with
rekrutieren, ne,
whoever
irgendwie.
you like.
Dear God, my eyes.
Badly.
Zip up, get to work, and let's never talk about this again.
Like
Handy
everyone in
pinkelt.
DedSec, Arthur can hack pretty much whatever. But as a construction worker, he has a particular set of tools that make him handy.
Aua.
He can even call his own cargo drone.
Da sehe ich ihn.
Perfect for gate crashing when you're not invited.
Catfishify.
And who needs a regular old gun when you have a bloody nail gun?
Come here, you side-eyed shit boy.
Jesus Christ, what is that thing?
Perhaps we could approach this mission differently. If you'd rather keep your distance, we've got you covered. Amy is a drone expert.
What have we here?
A real tech connoisseur.
Hate spiders, but love this one.
What an adorable creepy crawler.
Oh.
Let's class the place up.
Über Aliens oder was ist hier
Drone
los?
expert does have the unique
Wo ist der
ability
Kugelwilli?
to summon their own drone. This little darling
Warte.
is fast and
Stimmt.
stealthy.
She aims, she
Wo
fires,
ist
she
der
hits.
Kugelwilli?
I'm reading incoming drones.
Da ist er. Den habe ich bei Mario Kart benutzt, deswegen.
She can also hack enemy drones, turning the tide in her favor. And if you are not into direct confrontation, there are more ways than one to get the job done. Recruiting an Albion officer like Brielle here might be challenging, but it'll get you inside restricted Albion areas.
Don't mind me, just doing recon for a bunch of insurgents.
However, do anything suspicious and she'll probably wind up with a bullet in the back of her head.
You've been approved for entry.
We're missing the human element here. I can get the Defense Minister on the line right now.
Well, if you feel you must.
Oh!
Criminals running our streets. Illegals threatening our families. The police commissioner himself. Assassinated by terrorists.
Well, that seems to be enough evidence. Next up, we're crashing Mary Kelly's organ farming operation and putting a stop to it.
That's good. The buyers expect high quality stuff.
And we need a hard nut for this.
Impairing our frontal lobe again, are we?
Bags, don't disturb me in my
Ein
natural
Cyborg? Aus wie eine Puppe.
Say hello to Mickey. The man lives for his team.
I put another hair on my chest.
And doesn't mind getting his hands dirty.
Also die Umgebung, Leute, sieht eigentlich ganz nett aus, finde ich. Aber die Charaktere.
He does have a slight drinking problem, though. And he's passed out. Ah, well, we'll come back to him. You know what? Let's go with someone a bit more professional. It's almost crass to call him a hitman. Some might even call him an artist. Here's the bastard responsible. Done and dusted.
Not bad if I do say so, innit?
Not everyone in London is a legendary assassin or a super
Ist der
spy,
Back Suplex? Hieß der so?
everyone can be a hero.
Nee, ich weiß ihn nicht mehr. Damals wusste ich noch, weil ich Wrestling geguckt habe.
So get out there, find the best recruits, and build your resistance.
Oh, put ein Headbutt. Zack.
It's time to take back London.
Watch Dogs Legion. 29. Oktober, Leute. Aber da spielen wir alle
Plunging the
Cyberpunk.
player into a living, breathing city teeming with unique locales and characters
Cyberpunk kommt
has
aber
always been a
3 Wochen
central
später.
pillar of the Watch Dogs series.
So what goes into building those worlds? Here's Amanda Munt to tell us more.
Kommt immer mit dem Fahrrad zur Arbeit. Ah ja.
My name's Amanda Munt. I'm a level artist on Watch Dogs Legion at UBISOFT Toronto. Being a level artist, I think, is the coolest job in video games because we do get the freedom to kind of like pick and choose what little details we want to depict. And we get ample opportunities to tell the stories that we want to tell in the spaces that we're assigned to. I have the capacity to hide things and, you know, like small little Easter eggs. in AC Unity, there was a boat somewhere in the world that was covered in cats. And then it happened again in Watch Dogs 2. And there may or may not be something in London that is a boat filled with cats in some capacity.
Jetzt weiß es doch jeder. Deswegen hat sie das angesprochen, weil das keiner gecheckt hat.
People that I was showing our demo to were from London, so no matter where I dropped them in the city, they would go, "Oh my God, this feels like Camden. This, this feels like Southwark. This feels like Westminster." When people are talking about some detail that I've put into the world and they're excited about it, like that feels so good as somebody who, builds these worlds with care. I love it.
And now some news for Brawlhalla fans. In just a few weeks, you'll be able to battle it out with your favorite legends.
Brawlhalla, war da dieses
iOS
Free-to-Play-Ding,
and Android
oder?
devices.
War das nicht Free-to-Play? Diese Smash Bros. Dingens? Ja.
3, 2,
Ja. Spielt das einer? Kommt jetzt auf das Handy. Ah ja. Oder Tablet, wie man will. Crossplay. Das ist geil, dass jetzt alle Crossplay hat, oder? Oder vieles halt. Das ist schon eine tolle Entwicklung. 6. August. Naja. Wer braucht? Krieg mal kurz einen schönen Teddybär.
And now, whether you need a Tom Clancy action fix on the go or want to dive back into one of the most beloved fantasy franchises in gaming, we've got you covered.
Might and Magic. Yay! Handygame, super! Tool! Was kommt jetzt? Liebstes. Die Typen da drin. Jax, what it?
Contact! Moat chain is down. Request air support. Target northeast rooftop. Roger.
Ah, dieser Grafikstil, wa?
I need an EMP deployed now.
EMP imminent. Get back in your cell.
Ich hab den Namen vergessen. Scheiße. Splinter Cell.
Hey, take this.
Wie heißt er?
Don't make me regret this.
Ich hab den Namen vergessen. Tom Clancy's Elite-Scope. Was? Was soll denn diese Grafik?
Speaking of Tom Clancy, it's been 5 years since Rainbow Six Siege first launched, and the community has never been stronger. In celebration of this milestone, Ubisoft Montreal has put together a special video
Hätten sie lieber die Geld, was sie für das Spiel nochmal für Dings nehmen sollen. Für Rainbow Six.
In
Sam
December
Fisher. Jetzt ist immer
2015,
Sam
a
Fisher
small
heißt er.
team released
Leute.
Rainbow Six Siege,
Xbox.
a game built on a strong vision, creativity, competitiveness, and team play.
Pour le joueur,
Yeah,
le premier
TK.
décembre, c'est un début, mais pour nous aussi. Il faut tout de suite s'engager
Grüßen Sie
et
sich.
dire aux joueurs,
Hallo.
ce jeu est installé, tu peux t'y installer aussi, et nous serons là.
That original vision was quickly adopted by our passionate community, propelling it to a whole new level.
Hast du das gespielt, TK? Rainbow Six?
This is such a special moment.
Oder spielst du das? Ah, du spielst tatsächlich gar nichts.
1 year anniversary of Rainbow Six now. Game
Hab ich
being
verdrängt.
stronger than ever.
Hä, hallo?
More players today than we had in the past.
Ja, guten Tag.
It means, the world to
Wie
us.
geht's?
But we also had our share of challenges.
Auch. Captain sogar. Große Ehre.
Health that touches upon
Ja, ja.
subject like matchmaking, connectivity, all those aspects
Nö,
are absolutely
nö.
critical to the experience of the
Na,
player.
nur Watch Dogs, aber da spielen wir eher das Cyberpunk. Da
Through
spielt
it
ihr Kinder
all,
Watch Dogs.
we're always driven by you, our community, and together
Handyspiel
we
hast
grow
verpasst
stronger.
und sonst nichts.
There is no sequel plan, and we're here for the next 10 years, so expect more Rainbow Six in your life for quite some time.
Look at this.
Tous les succès, c'est vraiment le résultat de autant de nous que de vous. Ce jeu, il est autant le vôtre qu'il est le nôtre, nous, l'équipe.
Super, oder?
Now 60
Hatten sie keinen
million players
Übersetzer, haben das
strong.
hingeschrieben.
We're just getting started.
Sehr-
From the
Wirklich
devs
super, ja.
that build the game to the community that plays it, thank you.
Ja, ja. Ja, den Trailer von Watch Dogs haben sie auch nicht übersetzt. Hatten sie bestimmt keine Zeit mehr. Haben sie ja nicht gewusst vorher.
If you haven't tried it yet, dive into our new Operation Steel Wave update available now and take Ace and Malusi out for a spin.
A few days ago, we introduced y'all to a brand new multiplayer shooter. Now, it's time to venture into the hyperscape.
Ja. Hyper Escape. Habe ich eine Runde gespielt. Ja, ja.
What was that? A hack in the hyperscape.
Also die Grafik ist auf jeden Fall scheiße. Oder nicht schön anzusehen, finde ich. So.
About 30 years ago, everything that we feared about our future started to come true. We made some good decisions. We made some bad decisions. Actually, we made a lot of bad decisions.
Ja, die Kühe sind im VR.
So, here we are. 10 billion souls living in the crush of the megacities. But the people at Prisma changed everything.
Da gibt's eine richtige Story, wa? Anscheinend.
They gave
Ja.
everyone a way out. The hyperscape.
Naja, die werden schon bald vernünftig aussehen.
By far is Crown Rush.
Diese großen Klötze vor die Sicht, das dauert glaube ich nicht mehr lange, dass die weg sind. Ach so. Ja, wenn 5G Standard ist, dann kann es vielleicht kommen, aber sonst... Weil WLAN ist fast zu langsam, aber nur fast. Und bis 5G Standard ist bei uns, das dauert noch eine Weile.
It can change your life.
Gibt ja nicht mal über LTE.
But strange things have been happening lately. Rumors of people getting hurt.
Ja, aber das brauchst du ja dann auch nicht mehr, wenn 5G da ist.
Users
Ist ja schneller.
disappearing from the real world.
Ja, ja.
Darker secret lies at the heart of hyperscape. And we have to find it. Some of us are searching for a way up. Some of us for a way out. And for others, a new way altogether. That's what brings
Das habe
us
ich
to the edge
gehört,
of the
TK,
future.
dass der da jetzt auch
To the
auftaucht.
hyperscape.
Oder Sam.
I'm JC, Creative
Mach das
Director
doch mal
of
weg da, Hyperscape, will er ja keiner
JC's work
sehen.
on Far Cry Primal and multiple Prince of Persia titles
Hier, Prince of
has
Persia, das
established
können sie
him as
machen,
a top
neu,
creative
aber...
here at Ubisoft.
For me, what's exciting is we started building it from scratch. Seeing it grow, adding ideas is really cool.
Hello, contender. Welcome to the hyperscape.
The game takes place in 2054. It's in a future where humanity has grown a little darker. One of the companies there, they are launching what's called the hyperscape, which is a virtual world and the internet of the future. It's the place where everything converges.
Warum stricken die da so eine richtige Story
In the
drumherum?
virtual world, there is a battle royale that takes place in the virtual city of Neo Arcadia.
Gibt's bei Fortnite eine richtige Story?
Then we also introduce a lot of new things. You get the opportunity to do parkour on the rooftops, to go into interiors where it's much more narrow, much more
Ach so.
stressful. You get to go to the landmarks where there's more.
Aber die haben keine Kampagne
items,
sozusagen.
But also more players.
Jedes Mal.
So it's
Oder
a risk
jedes
reward
Mal.
kind of deal. We introduce the notion of hacks, special abilities that you can pick up on the fly to adapt your tactics. With hacks, you can do things like teleport yourself.
Ja, das sieht ja mal ganz gut
you
aus
can wrap
eigentlich.
yourself into a ball and bounce around the battlefield. So a lot of abilities that let you have fun, that are toys that you can play with. And
Kannst ja auch
finally,
Filme
it's made
gucken
as a
jetzt, wa?
spectacle, so all the viewers will be able to interact with the
Haben
game on
sie sich,
different levels.
haben sie
through
sich
the Twitch
getroffen?
extension.
Ja.
So every few
Oder
minutes,
Konzerte?
there's
Waren da
going
nicht
to be
auch
a
schon
vote,
Konzerte?
and viewers will be able to decide what
Voll
effect they
witzig,
want
ey.
to affect the whole
Eigentlich
battle.
ganz
So
geile
things
Idee
like
so.
changing the gravity, infinite ammo, or stuff like that. So players, while this happens, really have to adapt to all kinds of stuff that is happening.
Aber so erreichst du natürlich auch viele, wa? Weil das spielen ja viele.
So for me, it's really exciting because right now, as we speak, we're launching the open beta, and so it's going to be available.
Warum hört man so gar nicht?
Free-to-play for all PC
Sag
players
mal was sogar.
worldwide. And I really want to thank all the
Ja, man hört
players,
dich
all the
nicht.
streamers, and all the
Ganz
viewers who
seltsam, warte mal.
participated in
Nö.
tech test and who will
Frechheit,
participate in the
oder?
open beta. Here's a short glimpse of what you can expect.
Ich schalte dich mal an. Wo ist es denn?
Watch and learn how it's done.
Nee, ich mach dich jetzt aber an, wenn du... Musst nur gucken, wo du bist.
That's mine.
Let's show him what I'm
Jetzt
made of.
vielleicht. Sag mal was? Nee. Nee, hat noch nicht geklappt. Warte mal, ich muss mal gucken, wo du hier bist bei... Auf was ich dir gelegt hab.
Watch closely.
Naja, aber hört sich ja doch besser an, wenn da jetzt einer zuguckt.
Here we go. Konotoshi.
Zeig ich mal so jetzt. Eigenschaften, warte mal. Nee, noch nicht. Doch, ist doch eigentlich richtig. Warum geht nicht? Nee. Man weiß es nicht.
The digital world of the hyperscape gave our artists and developers incredible freedom when it came to designing characters.
Production manager Anna Maria Muska is going to take us behind the scenes of character design.
Jetzt vielleicht?
My name is Anna Maria
Jetzt ist er
Muska.
ruhig.
I'm the production manager for
Was?
characters
Ah,
and
jetzt.
weapons on
Jetzt hört
Hyperscape.
man dich.
We have paid an
geht doch.
exceptional amount of detail to our characters. We switch different outfits, different fashion statements, different tattoos, different
Hatten die schon die ganze
materials
Zeit einen
until we
Battle
see
Pass
them as
oder haben
real
die den jetzt
individuals,
erst
as
hinzugefügt?
real people. So the second
Bei
you pick a
Hyperscape.
character, you see them
Hyperscape
in game.
gibt's da noch gar nicht,
you
oder?
understand
Da war
what
jetzt
their
nur letztes
motivations
Wochenende ein
are and what
Testwochenende.
drives them and what challenges them.
Ja, weil da war gerade irgendwas mit
This was the first
30
lineup of
Tier
characters. This is our
gratis Battle
default
Pass. oder so.
base, but even starting from the hair down, everything has been meticulously thought of. Would this person actually like this type of outfit? Would this person enjoy the type of tattoos that we're putting on them? Will they actually like to be in this body? Each season, we plan to produce new concepts for these
Hier
characters.
schreit jemand in die
So we're
Kommentare,
hoping some of our players
Lügenpresse.
are gonna see the effort
Wo,
and
echt, ja?
maybe even
In
correlate some
dem
of our
Originalstream?
accessories to what's gonna happen
Ja.
in the game.
Das ist ja witzig.
We're very excited to see it in people's hands.
As we move into the next generation of gaming, Ubisoft has been working closely with console makers to take advantage of all the extraordinary capabilities these new consoles will offer.
Now we have a special guest to tell us a little more.
Hey everyone, Phil Spencer from Xbox.
Oh,
With
jetzt.
Watch Dogs Legion,
Am
Ubisoft
23.
is supporting smart delivery. So you will get the absolute best version of the game on any version of Xbox you're playing on. On Series X, you'll get to take advantage of the amazing work the team has done with DirectX ray tracing to create an absolutely immersive version of London like you've never seen before. Ubisoft has a unique ability
Na, die
to create
meisten
immersive
Hersteller
worlds,
bezahlen irgendwie für einen Monat, dass es nur exklusiv ist und dann kommt das für die
Ja, ja,
anderen.
das hörst du oft, ja. Die hab's früher auch öfter, ja.
I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. I love the time I've spent exploring the world in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I
Jetzt
can't
kommt
wait
Valhalla.
for you to see
Das wäre echt ganz cool.
gameplay from Assassin's Creed Valhalla that's coming up now.
Letzt geht's los.
We know you've been
Yeah,
waiting to hear
Assassin's
more about
Creed
this game since
Valhalla.
it was announced back in April. And now it's time for a deep dive into the world of Vikings.
My name is Julien Laferrière, and I'm the producer of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Ah, alles klar,
So a
TK.
couple of weeks ago, we announced Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and the reaction from the fans was just amazing. The time period of Vikings is really, really inspiring. When we did our research, we found that, you know,
Was
they
für
were
eine
not
Recherche.
mindless barbarians.
Die haben da nur Dings geguckt.
Vikings were actually farmers trying to
Wie
find
hieß die
new
Serie?
lands for them to settle. And so they had really
Vikings?
human motivations.
Hast du auch gerade
So
gesagt,
for
wa?
us to have this opportunity
Glaube,
to
ja.
tell kind of the real story about Vikings and
Ja.
kind of separate
Nee.
ourselves
Achso, nee, nee, er
from
meint,
the
er meint
folklore
generell die Wikinger.
is
Ich
really
dachte, die
something
haben sich
that
da
drove us
inspirieren
to
lassen
make
von
this
der
game.
Serie.
The team went to Norway and England to take the same roads that the Vikings did to really experience what it meant to be a Viking at that time. And then
Also wenn die sich jetzt als
Norway,
Wikinger
which
verkleidet
is
haben und mal so
very
eine Woche gelebt haben,
majestic,
wie die nur unser Spiel
just
programmieren, na
coming
dann.
by boat in England,
Damit sie sich so
and see
fühlen,
those
wie echte
rolling
Wikinger.
hills full of sheep and full of life is just this moment that most likely the Vikings felt as well. You need to see this land of opportunity. And this is exactly the feeling we want players to experience in
Wir
this
wollen
game.
was vom Spiel sehen.
It is a personal adventure, you know, it is the story of Eivor, a Viking chieftain. Eivor is either a
Oh,
male or a
Fingerfarbe.
female. You decide when you start the game. They will have to leave Norway to settle in England because you just can't live in Norway anymore. There's too much political pressure, no resources available. Obviously, in England, it's full of Anglo-Saxons and other people, and they don't really want you there. So you will have to fight your way there to kind of build your own settlement and see your clan prosper. Vikings were brutal warriors.
Shields!
Aua.
And the fact that they were mastering a lot of weapons coming from the medieval times really inspired us to kind of revamp the fight system. To leverage the
abgefallen.
brutality and the intensity of Viking combat. Vikings were not only fighting face to face, they were masters of stealth and deception when needed. They used basically any sort of tactics they could use to win the battle. So we
Reden die
want
jetzt
to
einfach nur
portray
darüber,
the
wie
full
Wikinger
range
gelebt haben.
of combat that you can imagine
Die
coming
zeigen,
from the
bestimmt,
Vikings.
die zeigen bestimmt noch einen neuen Trailer.
Irgendwann, wenn du im Geschichtsunterricht über Wikinger redest, kannst du das als Quelle nehmen.
Naja. Na danach,
We are very
im Anschluss
happy
kannst du ja hier auf
finally
anderen
be able to
Kanälen,
show you the
konnten
game
ja schon
we're all
einige
been
spielen,
working
dürfen
on.
sie danach zeigen.
Please enjoy this deep dive into Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Wisst ihr? So neu hier, ja.
In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you will relive the epic saga of the Viking invasion of England. You play as Eivor, a Viking from Norway, who will lead his or her battle-hardened warriors across the North Sea to the British Isles. Eivor is driven by an ambitious goal, to build a thriving Norse settlement in a hostile land.
For the good of our clan, it is time we go a Viking. Today we raid, that tomorrow we may build.
England is a dark age tangle of broken kingdoms and warring dynasties, a land of opportunity and riches. As you prowl England's rivers by longship, you may raid locations you spot from the shoreline. Ground your ship and blow your horn to lead your raiding crew into battle. Your crew will assist you on all your raids, fighting enemies, battering down doors, and stealing cargo too heavy for one set of arms. Whatever riches and resources you pillage may be used to develop your settlement, giving you access to useful services, better tools, and new settlers. At the heart of your settlement is the Alliance map.
Bei jedem Dorf machen, was du überfällst, oder wie? Nee.
And a guide for future
Ach, guck mal da.
opportunities. The Viking Age was a time of warriors and legends. In Valhalla, you will find the
Aber
largest
die Grafik ist halt
variety of
genauso wie
enemies
damals,
ever
wie bei den anderen
assembled in
Stellen,
an
oder?
Assassin's Creed
Also
game.
ist jetzt bisschen mehr Details vielleicht und so, Vegetation. Die Licht- und Schatteneffekte sind natürlich ein bisschen besser durch Raytracing.
While others will use nearby objects to their advantage, including the bodies of
Spiegelung
fallen
und alles.
warriors. To face these attacks, you must find and exploit your opponent's weaknesses to gain the upper hand. Take the fight to your foes with a host of brutal new combat abilities. Snare them with the Viking harpoon. Pummel them with throwing axes. Incapacitate them with a new stun system to keep them at a distance.
Naja, also da kam ein so vor. Oh!
Dual wield any two weapons you wish to unleash a deadly combination of attacks.
Meinst du, da gibt's Mikrotransaktionen, TK? Gab's aber die alten auch nicht, oder?
And become a legendary Viking warrior.
UBISOFT nicht, EA.
Aber EA ist ja jetzt auch davon weg, so ein bisschen.
Ja, aber die sind ja dafür bekannt.
All combinations of weapons are available to dual wield, including 2 shields.
Oh, der ist mies, der mit dem Kopf
Not
ab.
all situations call for violence. In this new land, a Viking must find a way to adapt. As Eivor is not welcome in England, you may need to outsmart your enemies, avoiding unwanted attention in towns and bustling cities. Use Eivor's hood and cloak to blend with crowds, and slip past watchful eyes, an unseen hunter among the people.
Stimmt, man spielt ja immer noch einen Assassin in dem Ding.
From capital cities and villages to the dense
Eigentlich
forests
ja.
and rolling hills of England, exploration is vital to keeping yourself sharp. You must feed off the land if you hope to endure. Hunt and forage to replenish your health and fortify your equipment.
Oh. Oha.
Search pagan temples and Roman ruins for new
Cool, hier,
activities
guck mal.
and challenges to strengthen yourself and your settlement. The more you
Ubisoft nennt das
explore,
Time
the more
Savers.
of England's secrets you will reveal.
Ach so?
Ravens, show no mercy!
But as you push deeper into England, the enemy will push back. In a series of climactic moments, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will feature massive assaults in which you will lead Eivor's army into battle against heavily guarded Saxon fortresses.
Today we will reclaim her. Today we fight for your land. And tomorrow we rebuild.
For Istanbul.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will transport you to wondrous and haunted lands, inspired by Norse myths and England's pagan roots. It will challenge and surprise, with unforgettable characters, thrilling triumphs, and tragic losses, giving you the chance to with your own Viking saga.
Spielt man in dem Teil mit Frauen?
Ne, kannst du ja aussuchen, glaube ich, wie im letzten Teil auch schon. Oder in die letzten beiden Teilen? Ich weiß gar nicht, wo das anfing. Naja, wird bestimmt ganz gut. Löwe ist voll gehypt. Einwandfrei. Sehr gut. 17. November.
9th century England is
2
truly
Tage
unlike
vor
anything the franchise has seen before.
Cyberpunk.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will release this holiday season on Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Stadia.
We're close to wrapping up today, but before we go, our CEO, Yves Guillemot, is here to share a few words.
I hope you will have enjoyed what you have seen today, and that you will love playing these games. I'm proud of our teams for delivering an ambitious, broad, and creative lineup of games. And we haven't shown you everything yet. In fact, we have a lot more to come. So you will have another Ubisoft Forward to reveal even more about our upcoming games. But before ending this show, we have one more thing to share with you.
Jetzt. Ach, die machen jetzt mehrere Ubisoft Forwards jetzt. Ah ja, ist doch gut. Nintendo hört mit den Directs auf, die anderen machen das. Voll geil, oder?
Aber ich frage mich, warum die das gemacht haben.
Keine Ahnung.
So.
Da ist da ein neuer Präsident, weiß ich nicht. Vielleicht will der da ein bisschen was ändern. Jetzt haben sie extra um den Titel nicht hingeschrieben, was der sonst immer da stand. Damit ihr nicht wisst, was das ist, aber das wurde ja schon geleakt. Wenn das jetzt überhaupt ist, Far Cry. Keine Ahnung, aber ich denke mal. Boom. Ja, ja. Wann kommt denn Watch Dogs? Stand das auch da? Nee. Ach du, hast ja nicht gesehen.
Ach, der Löwe.
Der Löwe ist ja hyped auf Assassin's Creed. Ah, der Trailer sagt auch wieder ja nicht aus. Da siehst du nichts vom Spiel.
Und vielleicht kommt hier noch was.
Vielleicht. In der nächsten Ubisoft Forward.
Far Cry 6.
Wenn das ohne dieses Jahr rauskommt, wäre das blöd.
Created by... Ja, nee, okay, da kommt anscheinend nicht mehr. Spanisches Lied.
Oh ja. Die bastelt gerne.
Ja.
Ja, sie? Was ist das? Mit?
S.
Ich weiß es
nicht.
Guck
mal, jetzt wieder oben auf Far Cry 6.
Ja. Ah, ein Mädchen, oder? Ich weiß es nicht, Entschuldigung.
Das sind weibliche Finger.
Papa.
Ja. Nee.
The grenade is simple. It has 4 basic parts. The shell, which contains the explosive, the fuse, the handle, and of course, the pin.
What are you doing?
Geh los.
Breathe. The pin simply holds the handle in place. It is only when you let go that this grenade goes boom. Follow me. Now. I am El Presidente, which means that someday you will be El Presidente.
Wenn er nicht vorher loslässt.
They do not know how to be happy. They are torn apart by opinions, noise, indecision, strangled by their own freedoms. And even if you have love in your heart, even if you want what's best for them, if you only want to save them from themselves, they will hate you, Diego. Everything you say, do, believe, will be wrong.
Aber mit Far kenne ich mich so gar nicht aus.
Ich hab die Vorgeschichte davon auch nicht gespielt. So wie vom 3. Teil, schreibt der DK.
A monster. And give you this. So you tell me, are you evil? Are you a monster? Because our country is like this grenade, except it has 2 basic parts. Our people. And you must clutch them nice and tight, or we all go boom.
Und da war gerade das Auto, was da Junge passiert.
You understand now? Bullet.
Roter.
Ach, zum Glück nächstes Jahr erst. Und nicht dies Jahr. Aber das wäre echt ganz nett.
And with that, we're wrapping up our
Mein Akku ist
first
alle.
UBISOFT Forward.
Wie so oft.
Today, we've seen the next generation of Assassin's Creed, the birth of a resistance
Watch
in
Dogs
Watch
ist mir
Dogs
egal.
Legion, the cyber chaos of Hyperscape,
Oh,
and
egal.
the epic reveal of Far Cry's newest installment, along with so much more.
Remember, we'll be back later this year with another Ubisoft
Watch
Forward
Dogs war so ein
filled
bisschen,
with
was mich
tons of game news
interessiert.
and
So.
updates.
Echt, ja?
Thanks for joining us.
Ja, also den ersten Teil habe ich mir als Let's Play angeschaut und das war so interessant.
Achso, ja? Guck mal, jetzt kommt ja noch ein bisschen Ingame von Assassin's Creed.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Ubisoft Forward post show. My name is Yusuf Magid, and this is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We're going to take a deep dive into about 30 minutes of gameplay, and we're joined by a
40 Minuten, kannst du jetzt mal gucken.
Hey everyone, this is Philippe Bergeron, otherwise known as Fizz. I am the quest director on Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
So Fizz, we're setting up here for what looks like an epic encounter. Tell us exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, so here we're midway through the quest that we're showing.
Ja, ich weiß nicht, Watch Dogs. Ich glaube, Cyberpunk ist da eher mein Fall. Da kommt ja
Cyberpunk werde ich auch wahrscheinlich eher spielen.
Da kommt ja zur gleichen Zeit. 2 Tage später.
Of raiders and Furds into Bird Castle to go and take down Ruid and his clan.
Also von mir aus kann ich mir auch Watch Dogs ein Jahr später holen.
Ja, das stimmt, ja. Man muss ja nicht alle gleich zocken.
Geld lässt es wahrscheinlich auch nicht zu.
Ja, das wird auch noch eng, ja. Ich bin ja gespannt, was am 23. kommt. Wird auch noch zeigen. Für die Xbox.
So Fizz, as you're talking, we're
Achso,
seeing some
da ist das Xbox-Event am 23. Juli.
Da wird wahrscheinlich nur Halo und so kommen.
Ja, Halo und Forza. Ein bisschen Dings wahrscheinlich noch hier, oder wie hieß das? Nee, was ich auch gespielt habe hier. Mit der. Ich fällt jetzt nicht ein.
Ich schau mal.
Senua Sacrifice. Jetzt. Das ist ja jetzt exklusiv für Xbox. Bitte vielleicht noch ganz nett. Was uns sonst erwartet, wissen wir nicht. Die haben ja ein paar Studios gekauft, also da kann schon ein bisschen was kommen.
Da halte ich mich nicht so auf dem Laufenden, was da so mit Xbox und Microsoft geht.
Ja, da kam ja,
Geld habt so das Geld.
da kam ja auch nicht viel. Diese Saison hätte ich jetzt fast gesagt, dieses Jahr. Also diese Generation. Da war ja wirklich mau.
Ja, vielleicht haben sie die erst gekauft, dann Aufträge gegeben und das dauert dann auch eine Weile.
Ja, die haben ja jetzt erst vor 2 Jahren, glaube ich, oder so damit angefangen.
Vielleicht war ja schon vor 2 Jahren geplant, wie die ungefähr die Leistung sein wird.
Die Leistung wird schon gut.
Der arme Hund.
Am Wolf, oder?
And it's worth pointing out actually that here what we're showing is that they're going and facing off Druid aggressively, but we tend to always have to support a 360-degree approach in these things. So the player could have approached this a little bit more stealthily and gotten at least like a good critical hit on either Druid or his Wolf, and so you can play this a little bit more strategic.
Ich würde interessieren, wie der ringsherum funktioniert. Das Kampfsystem ist ja, wird schon gut sein.
One of my preferred strategies is to eliminate the wolf first, just focus fire on him. It takes at least one opponent out of the combat. Now Ruid will have extra abilities that come into play.
Bisschen geändert haben das ja, hast du gesehen da? Aber wie funktioniert denn das andere mit den Raids und so?
Makes for a good strategy in the whole.
Aber interessant, dass die nur von dem weiblichen Charakter da 10 zeigen.
Ja.
Vielleicht gibt es ja auch diesmal nur einen weiblichen.
Nee, im Trailer siehst du ja auch den Typen. Im Trailer hast du ja nur den Typen gesehen.
Ja, kann sein.
You throw in with these wastrels, these arrogant swine? Eivor, no! He should be tried.
Sind das jetzt die 30, 40 Minuten Gameplay?
Ja.
So we've defeated Ruid, we freed Oswald. What comes next?
Oswald in this case prefers for Ruid to be kept alive, and so you basically have to choose: are you going to go against his wishes or stay true to your nature?
So we have this choice to make, but before we get into that, I want to rewind a little bit because we just did this big, grand assault, but Eivor couldn't have done it alone. She clearly had to recruit some folks along the way, get some troops, get some allies. So let's actually rewind and see how we went about first gathering those troops.
Right, so when coming up to an assault, it's a game of numbers. Eivor can go into pretty much any location and be a stealthy Viking, eliminating some of the assets, which ultimately would be a strategy. You can do that, and you'll have some of the ingredients or of the assets there that will have been sabotaged, but you still need an army. So here what we're seeing is Eivor going around the countryside and raising what we call a fyrd, which is the men and the women of the territory who come up
Also so
and fight in the
Artefakte.
name of a king. So here Eivor is going around and trying to convince people to
Irgendwie
fight in the name
seltsam,
of
weil der
Oswald
Mann
to
hat gerade
finally
seine
take
Hand in
down
seinen
the
Schal
Druid.
gesteckt.
Ist halt die Engine. Aber oben ist ja Work in Progress, ja? Wird im finalen Spiel vielleicht nicht sein, aber wird es.
The leadership that Oswald had, what he meant to the people in his name, she's going to recruit these people.
Far Cry 3 soll ich spielen, schreibt der TK. Ah ja. Ist ja gut, ja? Eigentlich, doch, ich hab schon öfter, das ist der beste Teil.
But first we sort of need to do him a favor, is that right?
Yeah, so obviously these people have been run down by Ruid and the impact he's had on the territory, so I think a lot of these people have sort of lost hope. And so you need to show them that there is hope. And so here Eivor is basically
Was ist denn mit dem Rauch da hinten los? Der ruckelt ja so.
Their prize locations by taking a couple men and
Sie sehen?
raiding a nearby
Ich sehe es gleich nochmal im Stream richtig.
Das war irgendwie nur 20 Frames oder so. Nein, was so aus? Bei mir hier.
Ja.
Oder?
Schon, also der war schon langsamer als der Rest.
Und das ist jetzt hier so ein Raid, oder wie?
When Eivor does this, obviously you have access to a full suite of abilities. So again, the improvements that we've done to the fight system. You have some brutal axe throwing in there. You have archery or like range combat abilities in there as well. So really, again, like depending on what your playstyle is, you can customize your loadout and go in there how you wish.
Wie er da brennt, ey.
Fizz, we just saw this giant pulse go out. What exactly was
Ein
that?
Indianer
So
kennt
that
das.
is actually is what we call the Odin sight. The Odin sight is basically our interpretation of the
Jetzt
Eagle
sieht man auch
vision
den
from
männlichen.
previous games, and we thought it was good to sort of bring that back.
Oder?
It's
Nee.
basically Eivor's intuition. It's how
Immer noch
she
sie.
perceives the world. When player uses that,
Ist von hinten nicht zu erkennen. Wikinger-Frauen und Wikinger-Männer.
interactive objects like things
Ja,
that
sind
will
beide
bring her
bereit.
an advantage.
Ja.
So we'll have arrows, like health consumables that are in there. So it really is like a good way of sort of understanding the world and showing you like things that you can go and touch.
Krass, dass die Wikinger damals schon Schreibmaschinen
We
hatten.
just picked up this awesome new weapon.
It's something we wanted to play with.
Stand da eine Schreibmaschine?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
Nee, aber der
where
Brief
we
sah halt
have
Ach so.
weapons in the game, but you
Am
can
PC oder
invest
an der
in more
Schreibmaschine.
Ja, die haben sich halt richtig Mühe gegeben da.
And
Die haben halt in schön
depending
Schrift
on
geschrieben.
your preferred playstyle is or your preferred weapon type, then you can go and choose. I'm gonna
Ja.
fight with this weapon and invest heavily into that.
Not only are we looting weapons, but we see something here called the Book of Knowledge. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
They unlock skills for the players. So here you can see the Valkyrie dive that has just been unlocked. We have these spread out throughout the world. So again, to promote
Das ist jetzt hier Skilltree, wa?
discovery. As you travel through the world and you explore locations, you can find these books that will add abilities that you can go and
Endlich sieht man mal hier
put into
klettern.
your loadout, then go into the different locations with the different quests in the game and use
Das passt irgendwie gar nicht. Da die Klamotten und dann klettert der da so rum.
Now we've recaptured this village, we've secured more troops for our assault. Let's jump back now and figure out what we want to do with Ruid.
The rightful king of East Anglia has spared your life today, and so it will be.
Compassion is a virtue suited for anyone, Eivor, including you. Thank you.
Eivor decided to let him live. Ruid is really angry about that. Being a Norse Viking, being put to the death in battle is your road to Valhalla. So he was basically denied access to Valhalla in this situation. Obviously, all of these decisions come into play later on in the game, so we have very difficult decisions for the player to make. We didn't want to have easy decisions.
Yeah, you know, when I was playing, I decided to listen to Oswald and spare Ruid's life, but what exactly is the relationship like between Eivor and Oswald?
So the relationship between Eivor and Oswald is an alliance. It's basically Eivor is surrounded by territories that initially getting into England are hostile towards her, and obviously if you want to set up a new settlement, you want to make sure that your neighbor is friendly. So here in East Anglia, Oswald is the man for the job, where putting him into a position of power would help her sort of secure her territory. So earlier on to the territory, Eivor comes in here, meets Oswald. The problems he had with Rued are sort of put to light, and going through the arc, you basically help him deal with Rued and aligning basically Danes with Saxons in one territory.
So, Fizz, we've completed the assault. We've gotten our hands dirty with some combat, taken down Ruid. We have this big open region of East Anglia, so before we head off to Oswald's wedding, what do you say we head out, have some fun, and see what we can get into in the open world?
That
sounds great.
So we see a cat here with a speech bubble above it, and you best believe if you let me talk to a cat, I'm gonna talk to a cat.
Yeah, these are some of our some of my favorite moments actually in the game, where we put out a whole bunch of events throughout the territory. And it sort of rewards, again, exploration, going around. It's a chance for us also to sort of showcase a different side of Eivor. A lot of the quests sort of deal more with like politics and warfare, and this shows a slightly more human nature to her, so it permits us to explore that character a little bit more. And so here, basically, like you're trying to help a kid with his cat, and ultimately get that cat to sort of join your crew as a cat raider.
You just said cat raider way too casually. You're telling me I could have a cat Viking raider on my longship?
That's
Ist jetzt hier der Partner? Die kommt jetzt immer mit, oder was?
Yes, I love it. Perfect.
Ja, super.
In der Wikingerzeit schon so reinrassige Katzen. Ich dachte irgendwie, Katzenzucht ist erst so später gekommen. Also, ich verstehe schon, dass da Katzen gibt, so, aber so jetzt komplett weiße.
Keine Ahnung. Damit habe ich mich noch nie auseinandergesetzt. Ich weiß es nicht.
Design for a longship that had a very shallow hull, so it permitted them to go very far inland very quickly, and you could basically disembark Viking raiders like on pretty much any shore. We added that into the game where you can basically sail up to any location and then just decide to disembark with your guys and raid a location, loot all its treasure, get back.
Ich würde mal interessieren, auf was die da jetzt spielen.
Sailing down the river.
Xbox.
Xbox?
Ja.
Haben sie gesagt?
Und hast du auch an diesem neuen Share-Button da gerade oben links gesehen.
Achso? Ja, die können ja auch auf dem PC mit einem Xbox-Controller spielen.
Naja, die haben ja schon diese Developer-Builds von den Konsolen wahrscheinlich.
Ja, ja.
Und gibt es wahrscheinlich auch den Xbox-Controller, und der Xbox-Controller hat ja so eine neue Share-Taste.
Achso, die sieht anders aus, stimmt.
Ja, und da hat man gerade das Logo von der Share-Taste.
Ah, alles klar. Nicht aufgepasst. Sehr gut aufgepasst.
To hear more about their lives, so you can actually queue up stories, and they'll give you a little bit more background on who they are. So you get to know your sort of fighters as you're traveling around the world, which is a cool moment.
So here we're seeing a bit of a different view. What exactly are we looking at?
We had this on previous Assassins where you would like ride on your horse and you could pull out, have the horse sort of follow the track. We have a similar thing for the ship where you can put up your sails. It's cruise control for the ship, so you can pull back, take in the scenery, listen to some songs or some stories, and just take it all in.
So, you know, speaking of Viking songs, we have an activity here that's not exactly singing, but kind of related, right?
Yeah, so here what we have is what we call flighting, which was an activity that Norse people would partake in. They would like to have a battle of wits and sort of poetry where insults would be thrown back and forth between each other. The idea was to try and have a good insult, but also to have a good rhythm and a good rhyme in there. So it's basically a precursor to rap battles.
Here's the silver.
Jetzt wird gerappt. Auf, wie geht's?
All those whom I speak, they say Eivor's a clod.
Then you're speaking to fools and their knowledge is flawed.
Well,
how exactly do you go about being successful in one of these?
The trick behind a good flight was to choose the right insult, identifying the right cadence, and then trying to find what rhymed the best.
I'm known for my might.
Ich bin mal gespannt, wie da die Übersetzung im Spiel sein wird auf Deutsch.
Silent whispers all claim that you're terribly dense.
Reimt sich ja nicht mehr. Wunderst du dich, warum?
Die Rose ist rot.
Oder umgedreht. Oder umgedreht, im Deutschen reimt sich das dann und dann ist es aber trotzdem falsch. Oder nicht gut genug.
Ja.
Don't believe everything you hear, unless it touches on my flighting. Then heed every word.
Take the coin.
So now that we've proven our sharp tongue and wit, I think it's time for a bit more relaxing activity. So we're fishing here.
Wahrscheinlich wird dann sowas richtig sein wie der Mund bewegt sich, doch es kommt nichts Sinnvolles raus.
Fishing line, so you can actually throw out a line and go catch some fish. This is used basically to play into our new health loop where the player will lose health in the world, and it doesn't automatically regenerate like we would have in the past. So you actually have to go out and get some supplies. So you'll find mushrooms and some food that you can gather. But here, like you can also catch some fish and consume that to regain some health. We also will sometimes have it in certain quests. So it's a good way to sort of chill out on the side of the water and just again take it all in.
Fischen, nehmen wir mal
So
Fischen.
this is what we call one of our offering altars. So the idea is that you find these around the world and you make offerings to it. So it'll take like animal parts and stuff that you can find throughout the world. Here what you're seeing though is sort of like a fancy version of it, where as you do your offering you get interrupted by some kids that basically come and steal your stuff. So it's just a way for us to sort of showcase that like the systems and the activities in the world can sort of play in with some quests and some little events. So it's our way to sort of dress up these moments and make it all fit inside the whole experience.
Yeah, this seemed like a really sort of unexpected turn for what I thought was going to be kind of a simple interaction.
Yeah, and it's really what we were trying to do with these events is to give another dimension to Eivor, other than just, you know, the pure rar Viking or the politician. Because you can imagine at some point that will grow old if you're always telling that version of the character. So it lets us really go into the depth of who is Eivor, what motivates her, how she can interact with the world outside of warfare and politics.
Your stealth needs work.
And it also showcases like a different facet of the world at the same time. It's not only Eivor, so it just widens the breadth of the stories that we can tell.
So who exactly are these two children?
These are kids of East Anglia. They are going through tough times with whatever Rudid's been doing to the territory. And so they're just here trying to survive and basically exploit the people that are there to make offerings.
It was kind of nice to see that Eivor wasn't really necessarily upset at them for stealing, and you know, after you talk to them, you have the choice of helping them. You can, you know, give them food, give them some money, or you know, maybe just say, "Hey, good luck, on your way."
Yeah, and then this is something we also wanted to do a lot. Like, so here we're doing an event, we do it in quests as well, but we want to give a lot of this agency into players' hands so that they can sort of shape Eivor a little bit. Who she is, so it represents them a little bit more, and they can roleplay that a little bit better. And again, it just gives her like a little bit more humanity in these moments.
What large walkers should do. Provide for small walkers.
Here, large walker.
A necklace.
Yes, it's a St. Martin's seal. You're welcome here anytime, large walker. You're one of us now. Visit us, okay?
I will. Take care now, small green walkers.
So I think AC veterans might recognize this here, but what exactly is Eivor chasing down?
Yeah, so here you're seeing Eivor running down one of our tattoo images. So this is challenging the player on free run abilities, but also for fans of the series, sort of pulling at their heartstrings for some beloved features.
So are we going to be able to tattoo Eivor?
Yes, by collecting these tattoos, you actually bring them back to your settlement, and then you can customize different body parts, having different tattoos everywhere.
Die hat da Zettel aufgesammelt in der Luft und da sind Tattoos drauf, oder was? Und die kannst du denn...
That Viking culture.
Oh.
Quasi wie die Tattoos, die damals in Kaugummis waren.
Stimmt. So Abziehbilder da hier, so eine...
In this case, I saw all the doors were barred, but I knew that because there was a chest in there must have been some way to get inside. So I went around the back and, you know, found a way in.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually caught on to that. You're pointing at something that we wanted to work on a lot on Valhalla, where we wanted the exploration to make you feel smarter. So we played a lot with puzzle solving, so making sure that every house that you find sort of appeals to you, like it draws your attention, and then when you want to come and explore, it's not given to you. You still have to work for it a little bit. So it'll challenge you on your observation skills. Just trying to find, how do I get into this? So we play a lot with design to offer challenges to players, and you basically come out of it like with a better feeling for the exploration, but you also get to see more of a story behind any of these locations which we've crafted. So it gave us a little bit more time to sort of slow down the experience and,
warum ist denn der Stream so pixelig?
a different version of a story.
Guck mal. Hab ich vielleicht nicht 1080 eingestellt? Das wäre der. Nö.
A poor victim of someone's fury.
Yeah, I mean, speaking about
Vielleicht ist einfach nur irgendwie
wegen
Corona
so eine und dann hochskaliert.
Yeah, so this is one of our bigger events that we have scattered in the world. So as Eivor explores, she can find altars like this.
Brauchst du 3 Drehbälle jetzt?
By
Rot-grün.
interacting with them. Here, it's a trap that's been set by this character named Regan. Now, there's a bigger story behind all this. There's multiple steps to it later on. So this is one of the moments. It permits us to go into a slightly more mystical realm and play with a boss fight that has more magical abilities, if we will. And basically have this awesome boss fight in the middle of the swamps.
Oi.
And so here the abilities that you see Reagan using are a little bit on the mystical side of things. What's happening is Eivor at the beginning in that trap is poisoned, and so she starts sort of hallucinating, seeing the world in a sort of different light and filter. And so that's sort of what lets us go into the realm of the weird.
Spirit of my father's rage, fill me!
Was ist denn die obere Leiste da? Bei der Energieanzeige.
Einmal das Leben vom Gegner, aber was das da drüber ist, die dünne, weiß ich.
Ja, eben. Die meinte ich ja.
Vielleicht wird ein das ja im Spiel erklärt oder so. Also muss es ja.
Vielleicht ist das so ein Blockensystem. Wenn die blockt und du triffst, sie geht der Balken runter. Keine Ahnung.
But it creates like a sort of greater story that is not on the main path in any way, but it's still very rich and adds to the lore of this world and actually plays into history.
So we just had a really exciting, really intense boss battle. I think it's time for something a little bit more relaxing and calming now.
Yeah, it's all about pacing yourself with the highs and the lows. So here we have a low chill moment of what we call building a cairn. So Eivor, as she explores the world, will find these sort of meditative areas where you have a pile of rocks that you can just stack on on top of one another using physics. And I mean, yeah, the ultimate goal is to try and get the highest pile of rocks, but really it's about taking in the sights, relaxing, taking a step back, and just building something.
Together we stack stones into cairns.
Das musst du aber nicht öfter machen im Spiel, oder? Oh Gott. Das geht dir doch noch einmal schon auf den Keks, oder?
Ja, in GTA gab es auch mal so eine Yoga-Dings. Wenn du einen Fehler gemacht hast, musst du auch komplett nochmal neu anfangen. Wo du so die Sticks einen in eine bestimmte Richtung und den anderen. Das wird wahrscheinlich das Nervigste im Spiel sein.
Natürlich auf jeden Fall. Selbst wenn es schnell geht und relativ einfach ist, aber wenn du das immer machen musst.
At this point in the demo, we've explored East Anglia, we've met some children, we've broken into a house, we fought a boss, we built a cairn. I think now it's finally time to go and head off to Oswald's wedding.
Yeah, so this is the moment it's all been building up to. By the moment you get into the territory, sort of like mentioned by Oswald, that he's trying to get married with his Dane lady.
Aber man sieht wirklich nur sie, wa?
As you go through the arc, that's sort of like the underlying thread. Really, it's
die ganzen Feministen
creating turmoil in the territory and helping Oswald sort of get above that and show that he's a good leader. And so you finally, after going through all of that arc, finally get these two together, go through their wedding, and you're invited to attend the ceremony. And then all the activities and fun times that comes afterwards.
Yeah, as much as we've seen the brutal side of England, it's nice to see, you know, the joyous side of it as well.
Yeah, and it's something we really wanted to play on in Valhalla, where being a Viking is not only about being a raider or a warrior. I mean, there's revelry, there's feasting, there's partying that goes, and like if someone knows how to party, it's a Viking.
Party wird
so
gesoffen.
here, this is one of our opportunities to sort of show that,
Trinkspiele.
show what a sort of Viking gathering is. And what's
Die
cool
sind
here
aber
is
langsam.
it's a good alliance
Ja.
of Norse culture with Saxon
Achso, der Schnitt war eben
sort
ein
of
anderes
smashing
Trinkspiel.
those two things together, and building bridges.
Yeah, I mean, what's a wedding without some drunk archery, right?
Musst du besoffen Dinge abschießen, oder?
Anything can happen in a Viking event, right? Eivor, yeah, here you just get
Oder
drunk,
Rummel da.
shoot some arrows.
Party.
Barely a challenge.
Steady all, and ready yourself for the wedding race. The king and his bride against all.
My king.
Oh.
So here we see the decision I made to spare Ruud came back to bite us.
Party gecrashed.
Yep, that's the decision you made, coming back. So as we said before, all of your decisions have consequences, and this is a big one.
I challenge you.
Das kam am 17. November, wa? Assassin's Creed.
You're basically presented with the
Nicht Watch Dogs, hatte ich vorhin
step in for
verwechselt.
Oswald, fight the fight for him, or let him go and fight his own fight.
Yeah, you know, personally, I chose to fight
Glaub ich.
myself because I thought Eivor is the type of person who likes to finish.
Ich hab's nämlich auch. Wie kann sich
The
sagen?
dead king cannot keep his oaths. Let me finish this.
Oswald, you gutless Arya swine! I'll slay the wolf-kissed, then hang you with your own tongue.
Jetzt gibt's aufs Gesicht.
How does this encounter with Ruud differ from our previous fight with him?
So at this point, you've eliminated his wolf, so it's just him, and so he's angry at this point, and so he will start using his big gun abilities like.
Guck mal, bei ihm geht die Leiste gar nicht runter, da. Die obere.
Ja, aber er hat auch zwei so eine Leisten.
Ja.
There's less strategy. He goes literally swords blazing at you, and so this is a fight to the death.
Und wir haben davon 3. Guck mal, unten. Die sind jetzt Special-Attacken.
Aber ja, das lädt sich auf, wenn du gut getroffen.
And of course here, like, this is a decision you made to go and fight him, but there's multiple outcomes to this scenario. You could have let Oswald fight his own fight and prove basically his station as the rightful leader. If you had eliminated Ruud, obviously this would not have happened. It would have been a slightly more joyous occasion. But ultimately, in all scenarios, you still have an alliance with Oswald. He's proven to be the right leader for this territory, and to be a good ally for you.
I promised you an alliance, and now you have it.
And one day I will need you to make good on that alliance.
So we're about to take off from the wedding, but Eivor decides it's a good idea to check up on her friend Finner.
Yeah, so Finner is probably one of the more recurring characters in this arc. You get to meet him very early on. He's a very endearing character, sort of used to have a Viking life, sort of misses it, and going through all these adventures together is sort of like lights that fire back, and so he's willing to join you in your raiders. So he's one of many raiders that you'll encounter in the game, and you can sort of recruit, bring back home, and then have them sort of join you on your adventures on Longship. He can tell you these stories that we're telling you about. You get to know a little bit more about him. So again, it's a fun way to sort of discover more about these characters.
Das sind auch wieder ganz lustige Leute im Chat.
Ach so, ja? Was schreiben die denn?
Einer fragt so WiiU-Port. Eine große Masse schreibt, warum kein Assassin's Creed Multiplayer.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be out on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 and is coming to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC and Stadia on November 17th.
Ja, der kommt am 17. November. Das war's, wa? Ja. Up next, Hyperscape. Naja, das ist nicht so interessant. Ich guck mal, ob hier was stand wegen... Das hier noch ein Trailer? Nee. Ja, doch, Hyperscape. Ah, nee, ich guck mal kurz. Hier wegen Watch Dogs.
Oh mein Gott.
Ob da stand. So, den Trailer nochmal laufen hier. Wann das kommt. Hast du den Trailer gesehen? Nee, wa?
Welchen denn?
Nee, von Watch Dogs?
Nicht, nee, ich bin ja erst danach gekommen. Irgend so ein Skispiel.
Bist du noch im Stream oder was?
Bei Ubisoft, ja.
Then they came for the protesters. And I did not speak out. Because I was not a protester.
Oh, ein Stück vor hier.
Ah, hier.
Has been a long-time creative force.
Steht hier ein Release? Gucken. Nee, da nicht.
Clint has been a long-time creative force here at Ubisoft, and now he's bringing this vision to Watch Dogs Legion.
So yeah, what we just saw was an amazing short film by the director Alberto Mielgo that was inspired.
Because we do get the freedom.
Oktober, 29. Oktober, genau. Kommt jetzt sogar.
Morgen soll ja angeblich der Release der PS5 kommen.
Ach so?
Also wann die rauskommen soll.
Aha. Wer sagt das?
Leaker.
Die Leaker.
Also ich weiß nicht, ob man es trauen kann so, aber...
Ja, wird ja mal Zeit, weil von der Xbox wissen wir auch noch nichts, war heute, wenn wir am 23. erfahren. Die sollte ja angeblich im August schon rauskommen. Also vorher war das so geplant, angeblich.
Ich glaube, die S soll 2-3 Wochen eher rauskommen als die X.
Ach echt?
Ja, weil die ist halt günstiger und damit wollen die halt mehr also schon aufmerksam machen so.
Aha. Aber die soll ja auch schwächer sein als die One X, oder? Macht irgendwie ja keinen Sinn.
Nee, ich glaube, die soll die Leistung an sich von der X haben, aber grafisch gesehen nicht.
Ah.
Grafisch gesehen hat die nur 180p.
Nö, das ist ja jetzt erstmal nicht so.
Aber es ist nur gefährliches Halbwissen, was ich da habe.
Ja, ja. Wir werden sehen. Bin gespannt. Ich will jetzt hier ein Bild haben. Join us hier. Ubisoft. Ah! Genau, als ich wegdrücke. So, guck mal hier. Ja. War ja ganz nett eigentlich. War ganz okay. Hätte schlimmer kommen können. Aber ein neues Spiel haben sie neu gezeigt. Irgend so ein Schießspiel da, ja. Mit Sam Fisher. Was Grafik aussieht wie Fortnite. Also wie jedes Spiel. Was irgendwie Free-to-Play ist. Sehen irgendwie alles aus, oder? Das ist irgendwie schlimm.
Ja.
Ja, nee, ja, dann würde ich sagen, machen wir hier Feierabend, wa? Sogar?
Ja.
Dann würde ich sagen, ruhen wir uns, gehen wir jetzt, hier seht ihr alle, was wir jetzt machen. Ente Cross oder so. Mal gucken. Schieben wir uns noch eine Ente in den Ofen. Bisschen Rotkohl gemacht und ein paar Klöße schnell.
Lecky, lecky.
Ein paar Klöße gestählt. Super lecker. Nee, ja, dann habt vielen Dank und dann sehen wir uns hier, weiß ich nicht. Bald wieder, wa?
Ja, einen guten Hunger.
Ja, danke dir auch. Schönen Abend noch. Mach's gut, ciao. So, ihr Hübschen. Das war gewesen. Die Ubisoft Forward. War eigentlich ganz nett, fand ich. Assassin's Creed, ja, ich hab das noch nicht ganz verstanden mit diesen Raids und so. Da habe ich irgendwie nicht aufgepasst. Und was wollte ich jetzt noch sagen? Und Far Cry 6 hat man ja leider nichts gesehen, nur den Render-Trailer. Aber der war schon interessant, so storytechnisch. Vielleicht sollte ich wirklich mal den dritten Teil spielen. Was TTK mir hier empfiehlt. Vielleicht sollten wir das wirklich mal machen. Schauen wir mal. Wann wir dafür Zeit haben? Ich weiß ja auch nicht. Wir haben ja ein bisschen Zeit. Der Far Cry 6 soll ja erst Anfang 2021 kommen. Im Februar, wenn ich mich recht erinnere. Februar war das gewesen. Ja, dann würde ich sagen, machen wir Schluss. Ich bedanke mich fürs Zusehen. Habt noch einen schönen Abend und kommt gut in die neue Woche. Lasst euch nicht ärgern, passt auf euch auf. Und wir sehen uns, Leute. Ja. Herzchen. Für euch. Macht's gut. Bye, bye.